Hello everyone and welcome back to another vlog, and for today's video I'm gonna share with you on how to apply an OCI or Overseas Citizenship of India. This is the most requested video since I got my OCI recently and helping you on how to fill up the application form correctly. Kasi during I applied my online application, marami din akong mali sa aking online application. Kaya nung una, na hindi siya na-recognize. So, kailangan ko siyang ulitin. Pero nanood naman ako ng mga videos on how to apply an OCI. Pero kasi, masasabi ko sa inyo that before you fill up the form, make sure to read the question properly and understand it. Hindi yung gagayahin nyo lang lahat yung nakikita nyo sa pinanood nyo sa video. Kasi yun yung nangyari sa akin. Talagang ginaya ko halos lahat yung form nila. Kaya ang ending, mali-mali ako. So, make sure to read it carefully and understand the question. So, let's get started. So again, as I mentioned earlier, before you apply an online application, make sure to watch different videos on how to apply an OCI and gather the requirements as much as you can before filling the form. Because once you started to filling the form, you also need to upload the requirements in the website. That's why gather the requirements first before filling the form. And also, based on my personal experience, the day I submitted my online form application, I got a reply from the FRRO the next day. And they gave me appointment date 1 week after I submit my online application. So, I have here my printed online form application, but I'm not gonna show to all of you this form because it includes my personal information for my own security purposes ba. So, I'm just gonna read for you those questions and I will explain those questions which are very confusing kasi may mga nako-confuse akong question dito. I'm gonna share with you kung ano yon para hindi kayo magkamali kapag nag-fill up kayo ng form. So, this is the first part of the form. It says personal particulars as in passport. Ibig sabihin, kung ano yung information na nakalagay sa passport nyo, dapat ganun din yung ilalagay nyo dito sa form. So, let's say, for example, surname, of course, my last name. And then, given name. Sa atin kasi sa Pilipinas, diba, meron tayong first name and then the middle name. So, what you gonna do is that in the given name, you should put your name, space, and then your middle name. Because it's written in my passport, my middle name. And then third one, previous name. If you have your previous name, you can put, but if not, then you can skip. And then gender, date of birth, and then place of birth, kung saan ako pinanganak. And then marital status, if I'm single, widow, so I'm married. And then visible mark, kung ano yung birthmark nyo sa body nyo, ganun. And then present nationality, of course, Philippines. And then, whether holding dual nationality, of course, no. Previous nationality of applicant. Of course, wala naman akong previous nationality. Ano lang naman, Philippines. So, next natin is yung family details naman. Meron ditong father's name. Of course, alam nyo na yun. Father's nationality, Philippines. Father's occupation. Of course, kung ano yung trabaho ng tatay nyo. And then, mother's name. In mother's name, guys, ang nilagay ko is yung parang maiden name. Like, for example, kung ano yung name ng parents nyo sa dalaga pa. Yung nilagay ko. And then, mother's nationality, Philippines. Mother's occupation, of course, housewife. And then, next is the spouse name. Yung pangalan ng asawa ko. And then, spouse nationality, of course, India. Spouse occupation, kung ano yung trabaho ng mga bana nyo. And then, date of birth of your spouse. And then, marriage registration date, kung kailan yung kasal nyo na registered. Spouse married in India or abroad. So, you can put in India. So, next is number 24 na tayo, no? If marriage is solemnized in India, whether marriage registered with the Register of Marriages. Sagot dyan is yes. So, next is, if marriage is solemnized abroad, so kung na-solemnize yung kasal nyo abroad, of course, you have to say yes. Sa amin, wala, of course. And then, whether marriage still subsisting, ibig sabihin kung effective pa rin ba yung marriage nyo, nagsasama pa rin ba kayo, of course, yes. And then, spouse passport number. Ito naman sa mga bana nyo na passport number. And then, spouse abroad or India address. Kung saan yung address ng mga bana or ng mga mister nyo, yun yung ilalagay nyo. And then, spouse passport issue, place, and validity. This is based to his passport. Spouse OCI details. Whether you have more than one living spouse, of course, no. Whether your spouse has any other living spouse, of course, no. So, marami siyang questions, guys. And dito na tayo sa part B. So, let's go to the part B. Other details of applicant applicable to all categories. So, number 1, it says, have you or any member of your family applied for Overseas Citizen of India registration? Of course, no. Have you got your previous Overseas Citizen of India card cancelled? No. Whether the applicant had ever been a citizen of Pakistan or Bangladesh at any time? No. So, dito sa part B, yung 1 up to 5, letter A, B, and C, yung sagot ko dito is lahat no. Number 6, date and method of acquisition of present nationality by birth, descent, registration, naturalization, and then sa baba, merong applicant name, which is my complete name, and then acquisition method, of course, by birth, and then acquisition date, kung kailan ako pinanganak, like date of birth. And then number 7, details of family members or relatives who are staying in India, if any, for Indian reference only. So, this is very important, guys, kasi if you understand this question, kung meron ba akong related na family nagstay dito sa India, so, ang nilagay ko dito is, of course, pangalan ng aking asawa, and then, yung pangalan ng anak ko, which is Mishika, pero nagka-problema kami sa paglagay ng months, kasi yung time na to, parang ano pa ba, ilang months na ba si Mishi? 6 months pa lang si Mishi nung nag-apply ako ng online application form and hindi namin malagay yung 6 months. Pero there's a way pala. If your baby is only months old, you can put 0.5 or 0.6 kung 6 months siya. Kung 3 months, 0.3. Ganon. As far as I remember. So, if you are confused, you can message me about that, okay? So, part B pa rin tayo, no? So, dito na tayo sa number 8. And, you just read this question, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, up to 14. So, up to 14, yung sagot ko dito is lahat no. And then, 15. Details of criminal proceedings against the applicant, if any, anywhere. Name of applicants, which is my name again. Date of incidents, NA. Place of incidents, NA, not applicable. Nature of incidents, not applicable. Outcome of criminal, NA. So, lahat ng sagot ko dito is NA. So, number 16, whether applicants is current under any investigation, of course, no. Wanted for questioning, of course, no. And then, facing charges for any offense in any country, of course, no. So, dito sa likod, ito pwede kong ipakita, meron siyang ano dito, declaration. Ayan, declaration. So, basahin nyo na lang, guys. Wala kaming nilagay dito. Ayan, I think it's for the minor. Ayan. So, wala kami nilagay dito sa ano ha. Dito sa declaration. And then, this one is for the minor. Ayan. So, tapos na tayo dito. In addition to filling the form, I couldn't find to my printed online application. But I still remember that there was a question regarding about my work here in India, and I was really confused because I don't have a job and I couldn't skip it because you can see na meron siyang red star. So if you can find that sign na red star, you cannot skip that. You have to answer it. So I asked my friend on how to do it, and that's the time that she told me that in the occupation I should put housewife, and then the address, I should put the address where I'm living right now, and also the contact number. So, dito na tayo sa instructions for filling application form. So, ayun guys, there's an instructions for filling application form. You can read it first before doing the online application. Okay, so, yun lang yung ating isi-share, no? The rest is parang mga agreements, ganun. So, again, if you're still confused in filling the form, feel free to message me in my Facebook page or in my Instagram account. Moving on, here are the list of requirements for an OCI. So those are the requirements I submitted to the FRRO office for my OCI card. And next natin is I'm gonna show you the list of the requirements in the website. As you can see, yung mga highlights ko, yun yung mga requirements na parang hindi applicable sa akin. And actually, na-confuse ulit ako doon kasi wala naman akong ganun na mga requirements. But then, nag-post ulit ako sa community about it. And then, some of them telling me that I should submit the requirements which is applicable to me only. Kasi yung requirements na yon is for general. So, ayun, buti na lang maraming tumutulong sa pag-apply ko ng OCI about sa requirements. Maraming mga nag-suggest ng kanilang mga opinion, especially yung mga nakakuha na ng OCI. Kaya super thank you sa lahat ng nag-response sa mga post ko. Super nakatulong sa amin ng malaki para mapadali yung aming process. And one more thing guys, when you upload the documents, it doesn't necessarily mean one document in one file. No, you can upload 5 documents in one file. But make sure to combine it and compress kasi meron silang limit of size ng mga documents or file na i-upload nyo sa website. For example, in the list requirements, it says visa. It doesn't mean na visa lang yung pwede nyong i-upload. No. You can upload 2 document or 3 document, 4, 5 in one file so that you can upload more document proof that you are really legal and eligible to apply the OCI. Because that's what we did. So, balik natin yung may naka-highlight na requirements. So, yung nilagay namin na document dyan sa joint declaration was joint affidavit for foreign spouse, and then the affidavit by husband for foreign spouse, and the electricity bill. So, tatlong document yung nilagay namin dyan sa joint declaration. So, sinrink ni Gorab and then kinompress niya kasi may size limit lang yung file na i-upload nyo. And for the visa, existing visas should at least 3 to 6 months validity. Kasi ako, nung time na nag-apply ako ng online application, it was December and then may expire yung visa ko ng March. So, meron lang akong 3 months na valid yung visa ko bago ako nag-apply. So, dyan sa Indian origin document, yung request letter from the owner of the house and then the ID of the owner of the house, sinubmit namin siya sa file na previous Indian passport of parents. Gorab's domicile, in-upload namin siya sa document na nativity certificate of self, parents, blah blah blah. Basta mamili lang kayo ng file kung saan nyo i-upload yung mga requirements nyo kasi alam na yan ng mga OCI officer na titingin sa mga documents nyo. Kaya wag mag-overthink, basta upload nyo lang sa file yung lahat ng mga requirements na gusto nyong i-upload na magpapatunay na talagang eligible kayo for the OCI card. And also guys, another tip na merong written exam doon sa FRRO office, yung couple, kayong mag-asawa. And madali lang naman yung exam based on your personal life, kung saan kayo nag-meet ng asawa nyo, mga ganun ba. So, make sure na almost same kayo ng answer doon sa question. Kasi siguro yung iba na di-deny kasi baka magkaiba yung mga sagot nila. So, thankfully, meron akong kaibigan na senior niya sa amin yung written exam nila. Kaya nagkaroon kami ng idea kung ano yung mga possible questions. And talagang nag-practice kami and nag-usap kami kung kailan para pareho-pareho kami ng sagot. Nakakatawa nga yung exam kasi kasama sa exam yung information about sa family ko. Kasi kailangan ilagay ng asawa ko yung lahat ng pangalan ng mga kapatid ko, tapos yung saan sila nakatira. So, ang dami namin guys, 7 kaming magkakapatid. So, natatawa ako kay Gorab kasi kailangan niyang i-memorize yung 6 kong mga kapatid, kung ano yung mga trabaho nila, kung anong address nila. So, napakahirap para sa kanya. Pero kay Gorab, 2 lang yung kapatid niya, kaya easy lang sa akin. Kaya tawang-tawa kami doon nung nag-interview kami sa FRRO. Kasi talagang kinuha niya yung kodigo guys. Meron siyang kodigo doon kasi nga hindi niya ma-memorize lahat yung mga pangalan ng mga kapatid ko, nalilito siya. So yun, basta sagutan nyo lang ng maayos yung written exam and halos pareho kayo ng sagot para wala silang question. Para hindi kayo ma-deny. Baka sabihin na, ay, hindi pala alam ng mag-asawa na kailan sila nagkita, saan sila nagkita, ganun. Iba-iba yung sagot. So, siguro yung iba hindi na-approve dahil dyan. So, make sure na pag-usapan nyo yung mga ganong bagay. Yun, so, very grateful ako and super happy and blessed kasi in less than 2 months, na-receive ko na yung aking OCI. But actually, na-delayed lang yung pag-pick up namin. Pero based doon sa information ng aking OCI, natitrace mo kasi yung status mo sa OCI kasi after you fill the form, merong reference number na ibibigay sa iyo to check your status. So, nakalagay doon sa status ko na natapos siya ng 7th of Feb. So, nakuha namin siya ng mga 21 ng Feb kasi medyo busy si Gorab So, yun lang yung nagkabakante siya, kaya kinuha na namin. But thankfully, yun nga, bago mag-expire yung aking visa, meron na akong OCI, kaya super happy ako kasi ang bilis lang ng process, diba? Nag-submit ako ng aking online application. It was 5th of December. And then, nabigyan ako ng appointment ng 12th of December. Na-verify kami ng taga-central government ng 18th of December. And then, after that, waiting na lang kami sa release ng aking OCI. At natapos siya ng 7th of Feb. And then, na-claim namin siya ng 21st of February. So, ayun. Wish you luck, guys, sa makukuha pa ng mga OCI. Kaya nyo yan. And if you still have questions, feel free to message me again in my Facebook page or in my Instagram account. Especially kung nalilito pa kayo or gusto nyong makita ng malinaw yung mga affidavit na ginawa namin, just message me anytime. Okay? So, that's all for today's video, guys. Sana makatulong ito sa inyo. And thank you so much for watching.